Good morning and thank you so much for joining us on Africa This Morning. It is the 4th of July 2014. Happy Independence Day to those in the United States and to their residents here. Great celebrations. Let's start the bulletin with a look at the leading stories.
The police have issued statements to the effect that there will be absolute and total peace around the country.
In the headlines, showdown looms ahead of Sabasaba. Opposition faculties claim Ooro Park venue on the 7th of July, Sabasaba Day. Fleeing in fear. Naivasha residents flee in fear of Sabasaba's possibility of reignition of violence in the area.
And the advice that they had received was they were actually against.
And finally, parliamentary caucus. MPs form inter-party parliamentary caucus to facilitate dialogue, but both Jubilee and CORD disown the parliamentary initiative. We start off here in Kenya. Some residents of Naivasha are fleeing the lakeside town in fear that the Sabasaba rally could spark violence in the area. And as our reporter Akisa Wandera found out, those fleeing have ignored assurances from security officials and politicians that the area is safe.
It is 3 days before 7th July, a day recorded in Kenya's calendar as Sabasaba Day. Back then, the campaign was to pressurize the then President Daniel Moi to accept a return to multi-party politics. Now it is a day that the opposition has vowed to hold a major political rally at Ooro Park if President Uhuru Kenyatta fails to honor their calls for national dialogue. As of now, it is emerging that not all Kenyans are taking the turn of events lightly. Some, especially in parts of the Rift Valley region, have started fleeing the area. This is Naivasha, home to some of the largest flower farms in the world. This town was greatly affected during the 2007-2008 post-election chaos. Area residents, who are mostly workers in the flower farms dotted here, have already started fleeing the area.
Umejua last 27 vita ilikuwa hapa, si ndio? Hapa ilikuwa hotspot. Sasa hivi vile siasa iko, nimejua itakuwa hivyo.
Wanagojea Sabasaba, hii ndio tabu hiyo. Wanaogopa hiyo Sabasaba hiyo.
Many are fearing a repeat of what was witnessed in 2007 when neighbors turned against neighbors, attacking each other and burning their homes. People flocking the main bus terminus with their belongings is a clear indication that many are not assured of their security. They fear Sabasaba may turn violent as the opposition wing continues to push for dialogue. Businesses have also been greatly affected. Police in the area have assured residents of their security, urging them to remain calm, but many are not convinced.
Na hiyo tension kadogo sio vile ati iko juu sana. Ndio unakuta kama sasa ukienda kama stage ya Nakuru, unaona ndio kuna watu wanahamahama.
Wamehama juu hii ati historia ya Sabasaba, ambayo tujui hata Sabasaba ambayo inaelekea wapi ama inaelekea nini.
Sababu walikuwa hapa 2007 wakaona kile kilifanyika, kwa hiyo ni uoga. Na kama wameogopa wakaamua kuenda, tusiwalaumu.
Those left behind have termed the existing tension as unnecessary, blaming politicians for the current situation. With all that is happening, residents of Naivasha are sending a very strong message to the leaders of this country that it is time for them to put their interest of Kenyans at heart to avoid such incidences where they have to live with fear for their lives and their property. For Ooro Africa News, I am Akisa Wandera in Naivasha.
A major showdown looms between members of the Mavuno Youth Congress and the CORD coalition, with the two claiming they have booked the Ooro Park for events scheduled for Monday. While the Youth Congress claims it paid 50,000 shillings to the county government, CORD says they secured the venue on the 1st of July and have the backing of the Governor Evans Kidero, who clarified that the CORD coalition has already reserved the Ooro Park.
Two groups inspecting the same venue for two separate events set to be held on the same day. Now, the run-up to the Sabasaba rally has been marred by various contradictory scenarios. Just yesterday, Police Chief David Kimayo gave CORD leaders his assurance that police will provide security for the rally set for this coming Monday at Ooro Park. Come Thursday morning, former Embakasi Member of Parliament Ferdinand Waititu and political activist Moses Kuria arrived at the Ooro Park grounds in Nairobi to inspect the venue for a gathering that they termed as a peace rally that's being held by the Mavuno Youth Congress. They came armed with documents to show that they had been licensed to hold their meeting at the venue. Documents showing that they paid 50,000 Kenya shillings and they were issued with a receipt that had a letterhead of the defunct City Council of Nairobi.
So what we are saying is this venue is ours. We have paid for it. Okay?
The Jubilee Alliance has distanced itself from the group, saying that they have not made any reservation for the park for that day. They say the only event the Alliance is aware of scheduled for that venue is the interdenominational prayers set to be held on Saturday, 5th July 2014. Moments later, CORD leaders came in to inspect the venue ahead of their much-hyped Saba Saba rally. CORD leaders claim that they have paid 250,000 Kenya shillings to secure the venue. Nairobi County Governor Evans Kidero confirmed that the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy has been licensed to hold their meeting at the Ooro Park.
And I may read to you a message. The Nairobi County Governor Evans Kidero says CORD has reserved Ooro Park for July Saba Saba rally. Kama waandishi wa habari,
the CORD leaders said their rallies have been peaceful and the Monday rally would be no different. They downplayed fears that people might take advantage of the rally to cause chaos.
The police have issued statements to the effect that there will be absolute and total peace around the country. We do not enforce peace. We are not the police. We leave it to them to do their job. But we will be holding a peaceful rally at this venue.
The July date rekindles memories of the 1990s pro-reform protests that were violently dispersed by police as opposition politicians, together with pro-rights non-government organizations and lobby groups, fought for the restoration of multi-party democracy.
As the political atmosphere in Kenya reaches fever pitch, a 25-member Interparliamentary Parties caucus that is spearheading the National Dialogue agenda has urged the leaders from both the political divide to preach peace and hope ahead of the Saba Saba rally on Monday.
The Mutava Musyimi-led caucus has reached out to a number of senators in a bid to present a united front in pushing CORD and Jubilee leaders to work together in cooling political temperatures in the country.
It is a deep-held conviction of the caucus that all leaders should be working together to end this climate of fear by giving messages of hope, assurance, and solidarity to the citizens of our nation. On our part, we, the caucus, have resolved to immediately engage the main political actors from both sides of the political divide, with a view to pacifying the country so that ordinary citizens can get on with their lives without unnecessary interference.
Raila Odinga has given President Uhuru Kenyatta until Sunday the 6th to hold talks with the opposition over a number of pressing national issues. Raila has hinted the country should brace itself for a repeat of mass action that eventually forced then President Daniel Moi to accept multi-party democracy in 1990.
Kwa hivyo mimi na hakika watasikia na wataanza mazungumzo kabla ya Saba. Sasa nimesema wakikataa, Saba Saba ni national holiday.
This is a democracy in a young African country, and dealing with normal human beings with their issues. Have we healed from 08? Have we healed from all the other hurts we've caused each other? I'm not sure. Can we handle the combative, competitive politics that is our politics with all the energy that goes in?
President Uhuru Kenyatta has made it clear that dialogue should be held through the people's representatives in Parliament. Both coalitions have disowned the parliamentary initiative and chose to maintain their hardline stance. The CORD coalition insists the sovereignty lies with the people of Kenya and that such talks must be open to all stakeholders. On his part, Majority Leader Aden Duale says the matter of dialogue should be discussed inside Parliament by all members and not a select caucus.
Your Excellency, we are telling you as a political leadership that you must defend the Constitution 2010 and you must allow all engagements to be done within the confines of that Constitution, Your Excellency.
The caucuses come together when sometimes the regular organs of the different political parties that sponsor the elected leaders are not in favor of an issue. And because we're elected leaders and given the dynamics of human life, there's always a window, mahali pa kunyemelea. So you go the caucus route and then the leaders can be left talking about the rights and the wrongs and the institutional this, that and the other. But the country moves and from what we are hearing, there are challenges.
Musimi, however, says the caucus is committed to the cause despite lack of support. This as a group of students in Nairobi protested against the Sabasaba rally. For Ooro Africa News, I'm Esbon Mugambe.
The activists who filed a petition for the removal of 9 IEBC commissioners appeared before the Justice and Legal Affairs Parliamentary Committee yesterday for the first time. The committee began scrutinizing the merits of the petition, and Sam Gakunyi brought us the report.
The manner in which the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission handled the March 2013 general elections is the subject of a petition by Wafula Buke. Appearing before the Parliamentary Legal Affairs Committee, the former student leader at the University of Nairobi claims the commissioners mishandled the general elections.
Yeah, I seek to disband the members that constitute the IEBC for violating the Constitution by failing to live up to the expectations of Kenyans as defined in our laws. And you are legislators, I'm sure you understand.
The committee will first scrutinize the merits and demerits of the petition, which seeks to have the commission disbanded through the set-down procedure. Buki, however, requested that the sitting be adjourned.
And I've indicated the evidence that I seek to produce when that stage comes. Now I realize it's my task to do that. But on concerning adjournment, I sincerely wish to ask that you give my lawyers a chance to explain why I found myself in this particular situation where I cannot proceed.
The committee, chaired by Ainabkoi MP Samuel Chepkonga, rejected his request since it holds the opinion that all Buke is required to produce is evidence. His lawyer, Harun Ndubi, will table the evidence by Wednesday next week.
But if you allowed us, by Wednesday we will come here with a summary of the pointers as to where you will find the necessary evidence and the documents that we will give to you as part of the assistance to this committee to investigate and undertake its mandate, rather than as an adversarial process where we are presenting evidence against accused persons.
Ndubi is, however, concerned that the duty to investigate the allegations is being transferred to his client, a responsibility they thought the committee would undertake. On the flip side, the IEBC commissioners, led by the chairman Isaac Hassan, has filed their submission to the committee to challenge the petition. They will appear before the committee on July 8th to defend themselves. Members of public who wish to make submissions on the matter are also welcome to appear before the committee. Reporting for Ooro Africa, I'm Sam Gakunyi.
President Uhuru Kenyatta is in Rwanda for the 6th North Corridor Integration Project Summit. President Kenyatta will join his counterparts from Rwanda, Paul Kagame, and Uganda's Yoweri Museveni to review the progress of implementation projects, under which the projects are aimed at facilitating trade and development within the East African region. Other presidents who are expected to attend the summit are Pierre Nkurunziza from Burundi and South Sudan's Salva Kiir.
Under the initiative, the participating states from the East African Community EAC are fast-tracking regional development through joint infrastructure, trade, political and economic integration. Other key projects under the NCIP initiative include the construction of the standard gauge railway line that will connect the Mombasa port to Nairobi and eventually Kampala and Kigali. Another mega project is the oil pipeline to connect Hoima in Uganda with the Lamu port, where a refinery will also be constructed. The 5 partner states of EAC are Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda and Burundi. South Sudan is in the final stages of joining the economic bloc. President Kenyatta will tomorrow join other world leaders during the 20th anniversary of Rwanda's Liberation Day celebrations at Amahoro Stadium.
Asante sana.
To the Western Front, at least 11 health ministers from across the West African nations gathered in Accra, Ghana to plan drastic action against the world's deadliest ever Ebola epidemic as dozens of new cases continue to emerge. Health experts say the top priority must be containing Ebola with basic infection control measures such as vigilant hand washing and hygiene, as well as isolation of infected patients.
According to the latest reports from the World Health Organization, there are at least 759 confirmed or suspected cases of the Ebola virus in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone, with 467 people confirmed dead. The new death toll represented a rise of 129 cases, or 38%, since the UN agency's last bulletin given just a week ago.
The impact of this outbreak has been enormous in terms of loss of human lives and negative effect in socio-economic life. Health workers have been disproportionately affected.
Director for Africa, Dr. Sambu.
According to the latest statistics, this makes the Ebola outbreak the largest in terms of the number of cases and deaths, as well as geographical spread.
People do not believe, they are afraid, but they do not believe it exists. And so because of that, people get sick, the community members hide them, they carry them to praying places. Burial practices is a very big one, especially for us in Africa.
Since West Africa's first ever epidemic of the deadly and highly contagious fever broke out in Guinea in January, the WHO has sent in more than 150 experts to help tackle the regional crisis.
We have challenges that are not so much related to institutional capacity, but they are serious, to pose a serious threat to our campaign against the disease. And these are issues like ignorance, illiteracy, denial, and just culture, tradition, and to some extent even some element of politicization.
Last week, Doctors Without Borders said the spread of the virus, which has had a mortality rate of up to 90% in previous outbreaks, was out of control, with more than 60 outbreak hotspots. The agency has warned that Ebola could spread to other countries, warning those hardest hit could struggle to contain the disease.
To South Sudan, some 4 million people in the country are likely to face critical food shortage next month. South Sudan's president has already warned of the current situation that could be the worst famine ever. The Disaster Emergency Committee, DEC, which brings together 13 UK charities to deal with international crises, says it currently has less than half of the money it needs to prevent the growing food crisis in South Sudan from turning into a catastrophe. The committee says the cost of mounting an appeal to pay for aid might outweigh the donations received. In addition, it says the same experts helped predict the seriousness of the food crisis in 2011 in East Africa, which led to the first famine of the 21st century in Somalia. It predicts that responsive emergency work would cost £113 million, approximately $194 million, but to date, they have only received £56 million. More than 1 million people have fled their homes since fighting erupted between different factions of South Sudan's ruling party last December. Thousands have now died in conflict that was started as a political dispute between South Sudan's President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar, his sacked deputy, but escalated into ethnic violence. And that story brings us to the end of the bulletin on Africa this morning. But up next, we take a look at other stories taking the lead in the dailies on Media Watch.